Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report here on Time Warner Cable right after WWE SmackDown and at PWRshow.com. Damian Nelson, the man they call Meathead, here with you on Wednesday, May the 13th, I believe it is, 2009.
Damian doing math in his head, not good for TV.
Oh, it's the 13th. I know my dates. We've got a special episode for you, as we discussed last week, talking about celebrities in wrestling. Well, this week, it's a 10 best. The 10 best uses of celebrities in professional wrestling. So we're going to give you the 10 names and why we think they were utilized effectively in wrestling. So, Meathead, we're going to start with number 10, the big 1-0. And we'll start with you, the 10th best use of celebrity in professional wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you what. It was entertaining. I remember it back from the Attitude Era. It's a young Mr. Ben Stiller, who was promoting a movie, but got thrown...
Bueller.
Wrong.
Ben Stein.
Thank you. Ben Stiller, son of Jerry Stiller, George's dad on Seinfeld.
Best of us for the rest of us.
That's right. So, Ben Stiller, I believe he took a chair shot, if I remember correctly, from J-E-double-F. J-A-double-R. E-double-T. Right around the days of Something About Mary. I thought it played in perfectly, and I was happy to see Ben Stiller in there.
Number 10 for me, ladies and gentlemen, is actually Duel, as there was a little trickery at this event, which was WrestleMania 11. It was the use of Jenny McCartney and Pamela Anderson.
Ooh.
Chicks equal buys and ratings. So
Boobs.
Smart for World Wrestling Entertainment to use them at
Boobies.
WrestleMania 11 with Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash and in that event. So that is my number 10. Meathead, let's move on to your number 9.
Now, are we talking about best usage or stuff that just entertains me?
10 best 10 best usage of celebrities in professional wrestling.
Because the one I was thinking of right now is just not a good usage, but it entertained me. Can I tell you what it is? And I'll come up with a number 9.
Yeah. Wait, no. We need a number 9.
Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble was hilarious. He was in.
One up, one down.
And he was out.
Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Cleveland rocks, you know.
Yeah.
Number 9.
I thought it was good, though, because remember, I believe that Royal Rumble was in Cleveland. Oh, Cleveland!
Number 9 for me, ladies and gentlemen, would be the use of Kevin Federline, K-Fed. He wouldn't stop. He got, how many times did he get FU'd? I mean, just in WWE? You know, come on, we remember talking about it. It was good stuff.
No, it was not.
At first, when it first came out, it's like, what, really? Britney Spears' no-name husband? Why?
No-name ex-husband.
Well, I think at the time they were going through some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he was making,
K-Fed. That was good stuff.
About French
We'll find
fries.
some of those clips and put them up in the PWR.
Where is that guy? Is he even doing anything anymore?
15 minutes are up.
Oh, 15 minutes and you're out of here.
Number 8 for the man they call Meathead.
Number 8 for the man they call Meathead. I'm going to go back a little bit farther. I thought this was a great usage because it was the biggest event, for the company at the time. It was WrestleMania 1. Billy Martin, Muhammad Ali. This is all one. Billy Martin, Muhammad Ali, Liberace. I mean, all these guys all involved in the show. Even, I believe Regis was around.
8.
No, I thought it was involved in one. It
6,
might have been in the back room.
7. It was 7.
Okay. But
Los
anywho,
Angeles.
WrestleMania 1, for that big match feel, you had, Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff. So,
all right, interesting pick for number 8, which I think is going to be equally as interesting as mine, and that is William Shatner. I don't know if you remember him, Roland Jerry Lawler, on, I think it might have been Raw, but I think it might have been SmackDown. He had a new show coming out on USA, and Shatner, who I think is right behind Regis Philbin, is one of the greatest entertainers.
Shatner's, he's amazing.
Just because they're always there. Just when you think they're going away, they're always there. Regis is hosting, he's saving CBS and ABC now. They're bringing Millionaire back, and he's doing, I think, Super Password or something. He saved the network, I'm just saying. But William Shatner. Number 7 for the man they call Meathead.
Number 7 for the man they call Meathead actually is going to go into the football genre.
Oh.
We're going to pull Reggie White, we're going to pull Kevin Green, and we're going to have these guys.
How many multiple picks are you going to use? You're going to run out of names.
No. The usage of football players in WCW.
Which was done after, at WrestleMania 11, when Mongo McMichael and Kevin Green, I believe,
and Reggie White,
were all used
LT,
as part of that as well.
Against Bam Bam. Ken Norton Jr.
NFL and WCW basically is what you just said.
Yep.
That's your 7.
Go.
And number 7 for me, ladies and
You can't
gentlemen.
even add.
This was very well done because it was in Orlando, and I think he was playing for the Magic at the time. But it was 1994 when Hogan came in to WCW.
Bash at the Beach.
And it was at the O Arena. And Shaquille O'Neal played a very important part in that whole promotion of that event for that big matchup. First time we had seen it on television. Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan at Bash at the Beach 1994.
I don't think I don't remember if it was Hogan Flair at Bash at the Beach
Oh, it
94. Are you sure?
I'm absolutely certain. Might have been 96.
Certain. No,
No, it was
96
94.
was NWO.
Yeah, it was 94. Bash at the Beach 94.
Okay.
It was their most bought and most attended
You guys,
pay-per-view
you
today.
guys will tell us, obviously,
No, it
that
was
we're
Bash at
wrong.
the Beach 94.
You'll tell
It's one of
Damien
the
that
few
he's wrong.
WCW pay-per-views I watched. I secretly watched it in the kitchen. Made sure nobody else was home. I'm like, all right, I got to check.
And then he went and got his pager and his earring and said, I'm making a show about how much I hate WCW.
Number 7 for you is
Number
NFL and WCW.
6
For
for
me
me.
is Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
And number 6 for you as we round out the bottom 5.
Surrounding of the bottom 5 thing always confuses me. Anywho,
There's a
Number-
top 5 and a bottom 5 in the 10
Numbers-
best.
number 6 in my top 10 of the best celebrity
Part of the bottom
usages of wrestling
Is
is Chris Rock to promote TNA. Because remember, Chris Rock was actually filming his movie. But you know what? TNA was just starting, and I'm like, wow, they're getting a celebrity. And it got him coverage. It got TNA coverage in his movie. Even though the TNA didn't look anything like it looks now. But
My favorite Chris Rock line was from one of his comedy bits. He was at, he was hosting the MTV Video Music Awards, I think, and they were at Radio City Music Hall. And he said, I'm the first black person to stand on the stage without a mop.
yeah.
Classic. Anyways, number 6 for me is Donald Trump. Donald Trump being used at WrestleMania 23 in Detroit, Michigan. Very smart. He donated the money to charity. Vince was on The Apprentice. Donald Trump, obviously, always big in the news, and whatever he does gets attention. And that's really what these use of celebrities should do, is bring attention to the event in which they're participating. And Donald Trump certainly did that as part of the Bobby Lashley, Vince McMahon shaving the head thing at WrestleMania 23. I don't know. Look at that. It looks
This
like
is
it says Trimp.
This
I
is,
didn't know what that said.
You don't even
I got
know
a
what
the
trim-
interns
you don't
have
even-
got to start writing my notes down better when I dictate.
you don't even know how to get trim. Number 5, the bottom of my top 5.
No, you're just don't even try it because you're going to mess it up.
And number 5
Alive, no disassemble.
is going to a guy who actually wrestled a lot more than people expected him to, and actually was around for a couple of years. Dennis Rodman, number 5 in WCW, hanging out with the NWO, and he has some pay-per-view matches. Maybe the money that he made from WCW went to that. I don't know.
Number 5 for me is another WrestleMania celebrity, and that is Floyd Money Mayweather. We saw that all unfold right here in Milwaukee, where our studios are located at Live Raw, just before WrestleMania. And that match with the Big Show. Talk about flamboyant, and talk about a character. Floyd Mayweather is it. And his use at WrestleMania
His
24, no matter
entourage
what he
was
used,
huge.
yeah, no matter what he was paid for that one-time appearance at that big event, I think it paid off for World Wrestling Entertainment. He is obviously now coming out of retirement, because around the same time he had retired from boxing.
Yeah, well, he retired from boxing because there was nothing left for him to do. But now that Pacquiao, beat up on Ricky Hatton, there's something to do again, I think.
All right, number 5 for you, Dennis Rodman. For me, Floyd Money Mayweather. Let's go to number 4, Nita.
Number 4 for me is Iron Mike Tyson. The baddest man on the planet! I said it because I know that Damon's going to have his a little bit later in the top 5, so... Mike Tyson caught my attention. I was a WCW guy, and I said, oh, they got Mike Tyson on Raw? That's what it did.
1998 was the year. Mike Tyson, good choice for you. For
WrestleMania 14 is
4.
where it paid off.
It was DX rated. Number 4 for me goes back to another WrestleMania appearance, and that is that of WrestleMania 11. While I disagree the placement of the match as the main event, it was Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Lawrence Taylor, LT, is number 4 on my list of the 10 best usages of celebrities in professional wrestling, because it really made WrestleMania 11 a spectacle, at least as far as the press and the mainstream media were concerned. WrestleMania 11, by the way, the worst WrestleMania of them all.
Yeah. Number 3, are you ready for me?
I'm ready for you, number 3.
Get out your hate mail. Get your keyboards ready. because I'm referring to a former WCW
Oh, don't do
World
it.
Heavyweight
Elizabeth!
Champion.
Elizabeth!
WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Here's what it did.
Oh,
There was a movie to
Oh, wait,
promote.
no. Last week, he was the World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you for saying it correctly, because he was
WCW.
the WCW
World
World
Heavyweight
Heavyweight
Champion.
Champion.
That's
That
what
is
I
a
said.
critical point to be made.
Watch last week's episode. I did say WCW in there. He was the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. What it did, it got you to say, wow.
Help put the company out of business is what it did.
I need to go. No, it had nothing to do with putting the company
It's
out of
close.
business. I had to go watch this movie. Hey, it's a wrestling movie. I'm going to go check
You're
it
still
out.
one of 8 who've seen it. I wonder, did that do better than the Marine and 12 Rounds?
Absolutely it did. Absolutely it did. Dude, the star power in there.
Yeah, David Arquette.
Oliver Platt.
Who is that?
Dude, it's been in many movies.
Has he ever worked
plenty
with Harrison
movies.
Ford?
Probably. That shows how ignorant you are. I said ignorant. David Arquette, number 3.
Enough of that. Number 3 for me is Meathead's number 5, and I'm going to go with Dennis Rodman. Controversy surrounded him. Having him
Creating
involved.
cash, if you will.
Exactly. Having him involved in WCW was a very smart move by the company. I do think they overutilized him, but I think that he had actually, at that point, considered doing it full time.
Yeah.
And I think it showed. He did some training and was well utilized by World Championship Wrestling, and he is my number 3 on 10 best usages of celebrities wrestling of all time. Meathead, let's go to your number 2 as we round out the 2 best. Now this is number 2 on the top 10 list.
Number 2, I'm going to be accused of looking at Damien's list because I just peeked it and it was in my head, and now he's going to accuse me of looking at the list. But having Pete Rose at WrestleMania 14 and 15, I believe, and 16, was he at 2 or 3 of them? It was 14, 15, 16. Correct. Hilarious. He ends up coming out as a San Diego
That's
chicken.
Pete Rose! That's Pete Rose!
I wanted to bend
Sound
over and
clips
get,
on SportsCenter,
Yeah.
and that's how it was.
yeah, I wanted to go get my, and by the way, just a, honorable mention, the wrestlers on SportsCenter during the SportsCenter commercials. Your Stone Cold, your Undertaker, your
The
Shawn
chair
Michaels.
shot,
Yeah. Ooh, can you fix my back? Yeah. Number 2, Pete Rose.
I'm going to have to agree, and I won't accuse you of looking at my list because I know you did. Pete Rose, WrestleMania, 3 of them, he was a San Diego chicken at one point, and it became so hilarious that you didn't expect it year to year.
But you
they
wanted
did just enough of it where it's like, oh my God, it's Pete Rose again. But WrestleMania 14, I was privileged enough to be there. I think that was the Boston WrestleMania. It was in Boston.
Yes.
And it was pretty heinous to have had Kane attack Pete Rose and Tombstone pile drive him in the middle of the ring. So Pete Rose
Again,
against
the line.
number 2.
I left tickets for Bill Buckner, but he couldn't bend over to pick them up.
He's a natural born heel.
Pete Rose? Yeah.
The top usage.
The number 1,
Number 1 celebrity ever used in professional wrestling, Meathead.
Jay Leno. The reason being,
We can tell you were a WCW
the
fan.
reason being, because Jay Leno had a late night talk show that reached millions.
When Hogan announced his presidency?
No,
Or
that was
candidacy
when,
for
no,
presidency?
no, that's when
he
Eric
did.
Bischoff. That's when Eric Bischoff wanted to have his own talk show.
Like
Okay.
Dirk Dietrich?
Dietrich. Dirk Dietrich.
No, not that way.
Yeah. By the way, he's drunk now on My Name is Earl. Jay Leno, because he had millions of people watching him.
And millions!
They got you to watch WCW.
Not this guy.
You were already.
It was Hog Wild, wasn't it? I think I saw clips on
Yeah.
Nitro the next night, but
That's why he was there. It was Hog Wild because it was the.
Number 1 for me would have to be Mike Tyson. Iron Mike Tyson
Say
at
it.
WrestleMania 14. The baddest man on the planet! The promo him and Austin did weeks leading up to it. The usage of him at the Royal Rumble leading up to it. Just like Lawrence Taylor at WrestleMania 11. Remember there was that big attack by Bam Bam on him at the Royal Rumble, and Vince McMahon walked off headset because it was all non-planned and all this other stuff. They did the whole thing leading up to Mike Tyson at WrestleMania with the chain, the face turn and all that stuff. Very, very well. Mike Tyson, the biggest and best use of a celebrity in a wrestling event because he helped WWE turn the corner. The attention they got, it was April 13th after that WrestleMania in 1998 when they began to overtake Nitro in the ratings again. Mike Tyson, I think,
That
his
night
usage
also,
had a lot to do
if
with it.
you remember that night, who returned?
It was a week later.
No, who returned that night? X-Pac?
It was a week later, but yes, it was X-Pac. And
Jeff
then,
Jarrett?
No, well, could have been.
And Deborah?
Puppies.
Yeah, they all returned. We're
That is
walking on
number
the
1,
home.
ladies and gentlemen. That was the 10 best celebrities ever used in professional wrestling. We'd like to see your lists as well, so make sure you go ahead and send them to us at the site, pwrshow.com. The email address is comments@pwrshow.com. Communicate, talk about it in the forum, and we could potentially use some of your comments on air. Check out PWR on 540 ESPN Monday nights at 10 p.m. right after WWE Raw this past Monday. Another show. What?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about everything we got going. And there's a place on the website you guys haven't been going to a lot lately. You haven't been doing. Now, I've professed my love for Ric Flair and some of the rantings. Wow, it all just came right out. Some of the rantings he's had. What is one of our favorite T-shirts that we have for sale over at PWRshop.com?
Hello? Hello? I still can't find that clip. Not what you're talking about, but fire me! I'm already fired. Fire me! I'm already fired. Fire me! I'm already fired.
It's available. Right
We're out
here.
of time, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime. We'll see you next week.